This is a 1966 Lotus Elan, and it's my favorite car, and we've owned it for the last 12 years. Back then, one of these, a decent driver quality Elan, cost about $20,000 to $25,000. Now though, 12 years later, a decent driver quality Elan like this is probably going to cost $20,000 to $25,000. I have a theory for why these cars don't and won't appreciate, and it's not reliability. The value of these hasn't bothered me. I don't ever want to sell this car, but it has confused me. While its contemporaries from Porsche were skyrocketing, this held steady at $20,000 to $25,000. When E-types were worth well into the six figures, this held steady at $20,000 to $25,000. And it's not like they're forgotten or underappreciated. The Elan's a permanent benchmark for great handling sports cars. It's a favorite of Gordon Merry and Jay Leno. Lotus won 7 Constructors' Championships during the 1960s and 70s. There's even a badge for it. It's got all the ingredients for a valuable classic. But then I stumbled across a paper. It was titled, "From Acoustic Descriptors to Evoked Quality of Door Sounds." I had to read it. The gist of it is that people make quality judgments of cars based on the sounds that a door makes when you close it. People think a heavy door that's easy to close must be from a high-quality car. Of course, it's not just academia. It's a painful cliche to hear automotive journalists talk about vault-like doors on a G-Wagon or the precision click of a classic 911s. Painful to Lotus owners, anyway. So how about this door? You get a cacophony of fiberglass hitting fiberglass, some squeaks, finally some metal clinking, and it's not just this Elan's doors, it's all Elan's doors. They didn't fit right from the factory. You could see period photos of these coming off the assembly line, and the door is bowing out right here. It starts with the hinge, which is 2 pins that go top and bottom into the fiberglass body. It's simple enough, it works, until it doesn't. Now back to the paper. The paper said door sounds were evaluated on 5 perceptual properties: quality, weight, closure energy, effectiveness of closure action, and solidity. So let's take them one by one. This door is not high quality. Throughout, well, time, Lotus has struggled to produce fiberglass in high quality. And in 1966, it was still pretty cutting edge stuff. So they had been through boat builders and plane builders and another boat builder before they finally brought production in-house for the Elan, which really did nothing other than leave themselves with no one left to blame. The door is definitely not heavy. Even crank windows were deemed too complicated and heavy. You just pull these up and you push them down. Pretty simple. Despite its incredibly low weight, it is still somehow incredibly hard to close, or as they would say in the paper, it has a high closure energy. And I'm not sure what effectiveness of closure action is, but unless it includes continued rattles as you drive down the road, I don't think it scores high on that either. Finally, there was solidity, which the door is solid. Let's hear it. Get a little squeak here, and then this all brings me to what I call the Thunk Theory. Think of it as a corollary to the old Lotus motto, simplify and add lightness. The Thunk Theory. A great sports car requires lightness, and lightweight doors tend to sound low quality. Since door sounds influence perceived quality, and perceived quality impacts real value, great sports cars remain cheap. Now let's talk about how this car drives. At its literal core, this car is extremely simple. It has a steel backbone chassis running right through here. Up front, it has an iron block Ford 4-cylinder, a 4-speed manual transmission, rear-wheel drive. About as simple as you can get in theory. From there, things got more interesting. Lotus developed the twin cam for this engine. That gave it some real power. Then they put that engine just behind the front wheels to give it slightly rear-biased weight distribution. From there, they did the high-tech lightweight body, keeping this car's weight below 1,600 pounds. They gave it clever independent suspension with surprisingly long travel. They gave it disc brakes all the way around. Pretty cutting edge in 1966. So yes, this car feels fragile when you get in it. You don't evoke quality from the door closure sound. But without that fiberglass body, this car would be heavier. It wouldn't go like this. Go-kart handling is one of those motoring cliches that isn't so painful for Lotus owners to hear. But in this particular case, in the Elan, I don't think go-kart handling really does it justice. I'm gonna steal a phrase from Peter Egan, who, if you don't know, wrote better about the Elan than anyone. He said driving the Elan is akin to flying just over the ground. And I think that's a better description of how this car feels. So without the fiberglass body, the flimsy doors, the rattling windows, this car might feel higher quality when you get in it. But it wouldn't be as comfortable to push. It wouldn't feel like this. It wouldn't feel like flying just over the ground. So you want my advice? If you want an investment, buy a Thunk. If you want some fun, buy a